the defense to protect the rim on the road. It's the job of the 2019 Nissan Rogue to help protect you with its available advanced safety technologies. Uhas and Smith to tip it up. It's tipped by Uhas back to Grande, and Ohio State has the ball to start the game. Grande with the dribble, man for Penn State to Waterman, now picked up by Charisma Ortiz. Ball tipped into the backcourt by Frazier. Now they get the ball into the hands of Crooms. Crooms into Uhas. Uhas driving on Smith, kicks it in the corner. Waterman's three-pointer on the way and good. Michaela Waterman, 3 of 18 now, only 12% coming into the game, but drains the first 3 of the game.
That's a big shot, and Waterman not a whole lot of success.
It's Saya Frazier hands the ball to Tania Page. Page goes around the screen, now near side Frazier. Frazier pull-up jumper on the way, no good. Smitty trying to battle for it, but Crooms comes away with it. Crooms brings it down the floor to Grande. Grande takes it down, strong down the lane, misses the shot. Good rebound by Amari Carter. Great box out by Tania Page. Here's Carter down the floor. Page, three-pointer near wing on the way, rattles and falls out. Rebound by Uhas. Uhas to Grande. Grande down the floor. Top of the circle, Uhas, far side into the hands of Santoro. Back to Uhas, top of the circle. Uhas tries to put it on the floor, lost the handle on it, and it's picked up by Frazier. Frazier back to Page. Page to Frazier. Frazier on the left side, 15-footers up and good. 3-2 Ohio State, 8:30 to play in the first quarter.
Active hands for Penn State early, turning up the pressure on a Buckeye team that would prefer a little bit of a slower contest.
Something's got to give here. Penn State is averaging 69 points a game. The Buckeyes are averaging, giving up only around 60 points per game. Here is Grande getting a screen from Uhas, sheds the screen, goes the other way. Uhas will try a three-pointer. That's woefully short. Rebound by Carter. 3-2 the Buckeyes. Carter flying down the floor, explodes to the basket, puts it up with a left hand, no good. Rebound by Uhas. Uhas to Grande, across the court to Grooms. Grooms gets around. Ortiz lays it up with the right hand and good. 5-2 Ohio State, 7:49 to play here in the first quarter.
Pushing the pace, Ohio State averaging about 5 possessions less per game this year than they were last year.
Page with the basketball, hands it to Frazier. Frazier comes around the screen, takes it down low, kicks it back out to Ortiz. Quick three-pointer, up and good. We're tied at 5, 7.5 to play here in the first quarter.
Found the open player. Great job drawing 4 players towards her for a wide open 3 from Ortiz.
No hesitation from Ortiz, which I think was the key to that bucket going in. Here's Grande around a couple of screens, looking for Uhas. Not there. Back out to Crooms. Crooms puts it on the floor, drives, dumps it down low to Uhas. Tipped away by Carter. Out to Santoro. Her three-pointer's an air ball. Lands on the baseline. It'll be Penn State basketball.
Ohio State 1 for 3 from beyond the arc, but their 2 misses haven't even drawn iron.
And the one that made it is a 12% three-point shooter. Not the one you'd expect.
Indeed.
Ortiz, Carter, Page, McDaniel, and Smith now for Penn State as Ortiz brings it down the floor. Bounce pass right, foul line extended to Page. Page tries to drive on Santoro, gets cut off. Back outside, here's a wide open 3 by McDaniel. Too strong, long rebound comes out to Grande. Grande up to Crooms. Penn State gets back. They go down low to Waterman, double teamed, looking for help, gets it back out to Crooms. Top of the circle, Grande. Far side, Santoro. Santoro tries to go back to Waterman. Waterman wasn't ready for the pass, goes off her fingertips and out of bounds. Penn State gets the turnover. 6:35 to play first quarter. We're tied at 5.
Officially, that's 2 turnovers for Ohio State, but with the amount of bad shots they've forced up so far, they're 2 for 5 from the floor. Penn State just really turned them over 4 times.
Ortiz, bounce pass to Carter, top of the circle, has Grande on her. Far side to Page, foul line extended. McDaniel, it's almost the same spot as where she missed one. This time knocks it down. 8-5 Penn State, 6:12 to play in the first quarter.
That's all she had to do, scoot a foot to the left.
Grande with the dribble. Takes the ball to the center court circle, reverses her field, comes back the other way to Grooms. Grooms at the hash mark, now to Waterman, back to Grande. Grande midway between the circles. Sheds the screen. Here's Waterman, another three-pointer. That almost is an air ball, and the ball's knocked on the floor. Uhas had a chance on it, couldn't grab it. McDaniel comes up with it. Here's a drive to the basket by Ortiz. A little floater up over the outstretched arms of Crooms, and good. 10-5 Penn State, 5:38 to play first quarter.
5 of the first 10 for Charisma. She's a scorer tonight.
Grande with the dribble, waiting for a screen from Uhas. Going under the screen was McDaniel, and that allowed Grande to set up and knock down the three. You can't go under the screen against the shooter. Down low to Smith. Smith double teamed, and a tie-up is going to be called, and the alternate possession will go to Penn State.
Crooms getting her hands on the ball. Grande not the greatest three-point shooter either. Only came in at 29.3%. She was now 13 of 42 for the season, but Ohio State getting their long-distance shooting from maybe some unlikely candidates.
Uhas and Santoro out. Queenland and Alea Patty into the game, and now Jada Travasio Green is going to check in for Penn State. The one official, Kevin Pethel's, having a whistle string malfunction. I'm not sure what's going on, but I don't think he can get the whistle to his mouth.
Yeah.
Our three officials are Tiara Cruz, Jesse Dickerson, and the aforementioned Kevin Pethel. Amari Carter's getting a good chuckle out of the fact that he can't get the whistle untangled. Now they got it, and we're ready to go. Penn State with Carter, Smith, Page, McDaniel, and Jada Green. We're ready to go. Couple of screens being set. Page comes open on the wing, puts up the jumper. Soft touch up and good. Tania Page gives Penn State the 12-8 lead. 5:10 to play here in the first quarter.
Even drew contact from Queenland. Shot fell anyway.
How many times do you think I'll say Ariana Grande? Here is Queenland, or Patty at the top of the circle. Now to Queenland. Queenland brings the ball to the near side, and almost taking the shot was Grande. Now they're in trouble. Now there's a quick shot up by Queenland, and she is not a frequent three-point shooter, but she knocks it down. It's 12-11, 4:39 to play in the first quarter.
Well, if you looked at these shots on tape, you wouldn't think Ohio State was 3 for 6 from beyond the arc, but they are.
Tania Page will take a three-pointer. That is short. Smitty with the rebound and then dribbles it off her foot out of bounds. Timeout on the floor. 4:28 to play. Penn State 12. A lot of contributors on both sides of the ball.
Absolutely. Both teams shooting very well. 50% early on in the ball game. The Lady Lions are 5 of 10. The Buckeyes are 4 of 8. It'll be hard to keep this up, but so far so good.
Penn State comes out with McDaniel, Frazier, Carter, Ebo, and Jada Green. Backdoor cut for Crooms. Crooms lays it up and in. Getting beat was Amari Carter on the weak side. 13-12. Ohio State retakes the lead. Here's Frazier now to Jada Green. Jada Green looking for a screen, brings it to the near side, hands it to Carter. Carter gets a screen from Lauren Ebo, puts up the jumper from just outside the free throw line. It's good, and Penn State back in front, 14-13, 3:53 to play first quarter.
One of Amari's favorite spots.
Grande on the far side to Crooms. Crooms, a good-looking freshman, likes to go right, that's for sure. Here's Waterman driving, blocked by Jada Green, rebound by Carter. Carter down the floor to Frazier. Frazier kicks it back to McDaniel. McDaniel thought about the shot, tried to drive on Crooms, could not, now hands it to Carter. Carter with Grande on her, crossover dribble, lob pass down low to Ebo, got walloped pretty strong, pretty hard. No foul called, and Queenland got away with a foul that time.
Nebo had to do all that she could to tear away from Patty as well in the paint and get free for that entry pass.
Carter having a conversation with a couple of the photographers on the bottom row down there. There's a lazy pass by Carter, tipped away, but Carter gets it back. Now Carter tries to drive, puts up a crazy shot off the right leg, saying to the official, I got fouled, and banks it home. 16-13, Penn State, 3:09 to play first quarter.
That's a couple shots they've been able to get through the Lady Lions despite being contacted.
Here's Grande driving on McDaniel, can't get anywhere. Now a drive by Patty, and a hand check and a hold by Lauren Ebo. And Patty has the ability to shoot from the outside, only 1 of 13 from three-point land, but she does have the ability to hit the 15-foot jumper, so Ebo has to be wary of that.
Nearly 50% from the field, Patty, so definitely can shoot it.
Just under 3 minutes to play. Here is Grande has the shot blocked by Frazier. Frazier's having a heck of a defensive game so far. And the ball's knocked out of bounds by Frazier, who continues to be a defensive pressure and does a nice job defensively. 22 on the shot clock. And we have another substitution. Santoro is going to come back into the game and give Crooms the rest. So Grande, Santoro, Patty, Waterman, and Queenland on the floor for the Buckeyes. They get the ball into Santoro. Santoro comes out of the corner. Now midway between the rings to Queenland. Queenland covered by Page. Tries to go left, can't get anywhere with it. Now hands it to Santoro. Back to Grande. Backdoor cut. Down low, putting up a wild shot is Queenland. Getting the rebound is Waterman over Ebo and puts it up in with the right hand.
Thought Queenland was a little indecisive there, but good thing she had Waterman there to follow.
That was good defense on the part of Ortiz to come over and shut off the drive by Queenland. Here's Page, top of the circle. Far side, Travasio Green. Down low to Ebo. Cannot handle the pass, and it goes out of bounds. The passes are just a little not crisp, or less crispy, for lack of a better term. The passes just aren't getting there quite quick enough. Penn State has had some openings underneath.
They have. We saw Alicia Smith earlier on. The pass was a touch off, and she had to, trying to go strong back up with it, she had dribbled it off her leg.
2:05 to play. Penn State by 1, 16-15. Grande with the dribble. Frazier with the pressure. Now to Uhas. Uhas top the circle. Patty. Far side to Santoro. Santoro to Queenland. Queenland drills to the right side. Here is Patty. A three-point shot. No good. Rebound pulled down by Uhas at that 6'4" frame. And Ortiz has to reach in and hack her on the arm. And she'll go to the line to shoot two.
7 3-point attempts for Ohio State players, and a majority of them are by players 6'2" or taller. Usually don't see that.
Uhas 33 of 48 from the season, 69% from the line. First one on the way and good. Crooms is coming back into the game to replace Grande. And we'll have another substitution coming in. And this is Adriana Miller to replace Queenland.
Miller's been a starter, transfer from LaSalle.
Bexley Wallace in for Penn State to replace Lauren Ebo. Down the floor quickly, Kamari McDaniel. They jump out on her in a hurry. Now Frazier to the free throw line, far corner Page. Page weaves her way down through the lane, has the ball tipped and pushes it out to McDaniel. McDaniel to Page, Page to Frazier, all at the top of the circle. Now Page has it again, gets a screen from Wallace. Far side Frazier. Frazier penetrates down the lane, floater up and good. Nice move by Saya Frazier, shedding the contact from the defensive pressure.
Drove all the way in, even against the zone of Ohio State.
Crooms will handle the ball handling duties for the moment. Gets a screen from Patty, realizes she's being covered by Bexley Wallace, goes around Wallace, down the lane, puts it up and in. 18-18. Frazier midway between the rings to McDaniel. McDaniel puts it on the floor, faked the handoff and just went right down the lane and missed a wide open layup. Used the right hand on the left side, almost a cardinal sin anymore. Down low to Uhas. Uhas left hand jump hook over Alicia Smith is good. 20-18, under 30 seconds to play. Shot clock and game clock literally the same. Tanaya Page will back it out near the center court circle. 19 seconds. There's a bad pass by Page, intercepted by Patty. Now Ohio State has the chance for the final shot. 10 seconds to play in the quarter. Crooms drives down the right side, blocked by Frazier. Uhas has it, 3 seconds. They move it around. Patty, three-point shot at the buzzer is no good. And Penn State in a high-scoring first quarter compared to what these two teams have been doing. 20-18, the Buckeyes with the lead after their starting five as well. Saya Frazier denying the inbounds pass to Grande. They're having some trouble. They finally lob it all the way back to the back court where it's gathered in by Grande. Now to Uhas. Uhas covered by Smith, 25 feet from the hoop. Grande on the right wing, foul line extended. Wants to go to Uhas. Good job by Smith to deny that pass. Crooms drives, tries to go to Uhas. It goes off her hands and out of bounds. That's good defense by Penn State.
And they were all over. Alicia Smith got a hand in front of Uhas, frustrated her attempt to take that pass in.
Ortiz gets the ball to Page. Page now to Carter, top of the circle, hands it to Frazier at the right hash mark. Page around a couple of screens, and we're going to have an illegal screen called against Alicia Smith, trying to free up Tanaya Page.
Ohio State hasn't picked up a foul yet in this game. 3 personals total, 1 in this quarter for Penn State.
Ohio State with the basketball. Grande being hounded by Frazier. Gets the ball to Uhas. Uhas puts it on the floor a couple times to the right elbow. Crooms uses that screen. They swing it around. Grande can't get the shot off. Now Crooms can at the top of the circle and knocks it down. 23-18. Biggest lead of the game for the Buckeyes with 9:02 to play in the first half.
Crooms a pretty good, darn good freshman.
Saya Frazier drives down low, lost the handle on it as she wanted to pass it to Smitty, and the ball's turned over. Back the other way, they go down low to Uhas. Uhas on a great pass by Grande, and a quick timeout called by Coquise Washington, and that'll take us to a break. Boy, a game can change in a heartbeat, and this one just did. 25-18, the Buckeyes with the lead.
Ohio State game. They'd like to slow it down a little bit more. They've had games in the 40s this year.
Jada Travasio-Green into the game to replace Saya Frazier. Penn State with Ortiz, Page, Carter, Travasio-Green, Smith, and there's another turnover, but Jada Green is able to get it back. Now they do not reset the shot clock. Here's Jada Green, three-pointer from the corner, on the way and good. And just like that, Jada Green brings the game to within 4, 25-21.
She saved the possession for Penn State, only fitting she ended it.
And Tanaya Page takes the ball right out of the hands of Grande, and Grande fouls Page before she can get to the hoop. And that will be an inbounds play for Penn State, not a shooting foul, or probably not a bad foul at all for Grande, considering that's the first foul of the game called on them.
First foul of the game on the Buckeyes.
Boy, they're playing really clean basketball. Carter to trigger the inbounds. Into Ortiz. Ortiz looking for Page, coming around about 4 picks, puts up the jumper. Too strong, Jada Green with the long rebound, puts it up after that, and she is fouled by Waterman. So Waterman picks up the personal foul, and that's the second foul against Ohio State. And Jada Green, who is a perfect 8 for 8 on the season from the free throw line, will be at the line to shoot 2 to look to cut the lead to 2.
You know, it seems like every game somebody brings the energy, brings that X factor for Penn State. It might be Jada Travasio-Green tonight.
Free throw on the way, and I knew I jinxed her as soon as I said 8 for 8. It rattles out, no good. How come it doesn't work with the opponents?
I don't know.
Second free throw by Jada Green is good. It's a 3-point lead, 25-22, 8:03 to play. Penn State with a 1-2-2 trapping defense. They get it up over the top to Crooms. Crooms spins away from Carter. Now to Waterman, right back to Crooms, midway between the rings. Crooms tries to drive on Carter. Carter stays right there. Far side Santoro. Santoro to Grande. Grande takes it right down the lane, lays it up and in. Nobody there to help. 27-22. Amari Carter right back the other way. Pull-up jumper from 15 on the left-hand side is up and good. 27-24, 7.5 to play in the second quarter.
Back and forth action. Both teams over 55% shooting.
Grande, right foul line extended. Penetrates down the lane, kicks it out to Santoro. Santoro to Uhas. Uhas against Ebo, drives inside against Ebo. Ebo held her ground well, tips the rebound off to Carter. Carter to Page. Page down the floor, wisely spins around to the outside, goes around a screen from Ebo. Skip pass to Carter. Carter to Ortiz. Another three-pointer for her is up and good. 2 for 2 is Charisma Ortiz. And Kevin McGuff, the head coach of Ohio State, not happy. Ebo and Ortiz. And Penn State still trapping in the backcourt. Ohio State has no problem with it. Brings the ball up the floor, does Grande. Midway between the circles. High post to Uhas. Uhas puts it on the floor, and a travel is going to be called. I thought I heard a whistle before that, but I guess I did not. I was looking at the officials, but a travel is called, and Lauren Ebo doing a pretty good job in the one-on-one matchup with Uhas.
And credit, too, I think Charisma Ortiz has done a great job coming over to help out and give Ebo that opportunity to put the clamp down on Uhas.
Jada Green, top of the circle. Wraparound pass, not a good pass. Oh, and the ball I thought was tipped by Ohio State, but apparently not, according to Kevin Pethel. And Penn State turns it over. Ebo had good position inside on Uhas, but the pass was a little offline.
And Jesse Dickerson's angle was closed off, so Kevin Pethel had the best view. He says it went off the hand of Ebo.
Penn State will continue to trap in the backcourt just to slow things down, I think. Grande gets the ball up the floor to Crooms. Crooms down the floor, tipped by Ortiz. Ortiz sees Crooms run the ball down, and she has it now. Driving on Carter. Back outside to Uhas. Uhas to Grande. Grande behind the back dribble. Waterman baseline jumper on the way and good. And it's 29-27, the Buckeyes. Charisma Ortiz ahead of steam down the floor. Throws the ball right to Crooms. Crooms right back the other way for the Buckeyes. Far side, wide open jumper for Grande. Rattles out, no good. Rebound, Ebo. Ebo outlet pass to Page. Page against Grande. Right down the floor. Blocked by Crooms. Rebound by Crooms. Crooms going ahead, going coast to coast. And a foul's going to be called on Carter, and Penn State just not taking care of the basketball.
No, and Janae Crooms has really been everywhere on the court for Ohio State the last few trips down the floor on both ends.
Janae Crooms from Cranston, Rhode Island. Not exactly a basketball mecca.
Not really. She was All-USA Today Rhode Island Player of the Year.
So Crooms at the free throw line on the season, only 47%. Free throw on the way, and of course, she knocks it down.
We got to get a new spell book. I think that's what it is.
Santoro and Uhas out. Patty and Queenland in for the Buckeyes. Second free throw on the way, and good again. 31-27, a 4-point lead for the Buckeyes. Ohio State now comes out in some 1-2-2 trapping defense. Amari Carter goes right around Queenland, skips it across. They move it around to Ortiz. Another three-pointer on the way and good. 3 for 3 for Charisma Ortiz. 31-30, Penn State down by 1 with 5:20 to play in the second quarter.
First career double-digit scoring game for Ortiz, and we're not at halftime yet.
Here's Grande driving in. Crooms in the corner. Penn State runs out at her, and then nobody rotates over. And Lauren Ebo just comes over and fouls her on the easy layup. That's just not a good foul.
Not at all.
Jada Travasio Green checks out. Kamari McDaniel back in. 33-30. Ohio State with the lead.
And Queenland was just able to drive, had the wide open lane to the basket, and I think the ball was almost through the hoop when
Crooms apparently has a little bit of blood showing, so she gets her elbow wrapped up, and she'll come back this way to shoot the free throw. 2 for 2 from the line.
Yeah, sorry, Crooms rather than Queenland.
Yeah, Crooms, thank you. I'm sorry. Outstanding freshman for the Buckeyes. Free throw on the way. That is no good. Rebound pulled down by Ebo. Off to Page. Page flying down the floor. Kamari McDaniel travels with the basketball on her drive to the basket. Another turnover on Penn State.
That's 5 now in the quarter. 7 for the game.
Grande brings the ball down the floor. Gets us. Oh, there could have been an illegal screen there from Patty. Now Grande misses the long three-pointer. Rebound by Ortiz. Ahead, wide open layup. Missed again by Kamari McDaniel. That's 2 wide open layups that she has missed in this game. And Saya Frazier is going to come into the game. Down low, they get the ball to Patty. Patty misses the left-handed jump hook. Rebound by Penn State. Carter, pull-up jumper from 15, on the way and good. Transition, she's been outstanding.
Absolutely, and she's hit that spot just off the elbow, left side, right side. Doesn't matter. Kevin McGuff just threw his hands at her in disgust.
33-32, Ohio State. Backdoor cut for Crooms. Cut off. Just swings it across to Queenland. Took her eye off the ball, threw her hands and out of bounds. and into the hands of Leah Kisner, and Penn State will get the turnover back their way.
6 turnovers now for the Buckeyes, 4 in this quarter. Both teams played pretty cleanly in the first quarter. They've been a little less focused on handling the ball in the second.
A little sloppy.
A little bit.
4:10 to play in the second quarter. Santoro back to the scores table for the Buckeyes. Here is Frazier, hands it to Page. Page looking for Carter. Carter, 18-footer on the way. That is no good. Rebound by Queenland. Queenland goes away from Saya Frazier, who was coming at her. Now gets the ball to Grande. Carmen Grande, top of the circle to Waterman. Waterman hands it off to Queenland. Queenland, couple of dribbles. Getting away with a carry, if you ask me. Queenland down the lane, lost the handle on the ball, and it's stolen by who? It's going to be on Queenland, the foul, as Ortiz came up with it, and Queenland grabbed her wrist to try to get the ball back. Waterman out, Adriana Miller back into the game, Santoro in, and Crooms checks out. And for the first time, Jensen Coretti is going to check into the game for Ohio State to replace Queenland. So they go a little bit big here with Coretti at 6'1", Patty at 6'3". Charisma Ortiz brings the ball to the left hash mark. Tanaya Page, top of the circle. Puts it on the floor, drives inside, hangs in the air. Wanted a foul called, and the ball didn't get the call. And Tanaya just pressing a little bit that time.
Just a tad. Again, she's great at drawing that contact and great at shaking off defenders. She did both there, but just couldn't get the shot on iron.
Down the floor to Coretti. Coretti back outside to Grande. Grande covered by Frazier. When I played basketball, I hated defenders like Frazier. Coretti to Santoro. Santoro picked up by Page. Santoro now to Grande. Grande goes around Page, puts up a left-hand runner, no good. Another rebound for Ebo. Ebo to Ortiz. Ortiz to Page. Page looked at stepping into a three, couldn't quite do it. Now takes it down the lane, and no foul called as Page hits the deck hard. And now Frazier's going to get called for a foul as Grande used the free arm to push her off. And Frazier pleading her case to Jesse Dickerson, but he'll have nothing to do with it. Uhas back in. Patty checks out.
Carmen Grande is a smart player, graduate guard. They called her at Ball State Senorita Asistencia because she's from Madrid, Spain, and she's the active assist leader in NCAA play.
Here is Grande, top of the circle, now to Santoro. Santoro drives, kicks it back out. Far corner to Coretti. Coretti drives baseline, throws up a prayer, and it goes in. 35-32 in favor of the Buckeyes. Here's a drive to the bucket. Frazier throws the ball up in the air. I'm not sure they're going to give her the shooting foul or not. They are, which I think is a little bit of a gift. But we'll take it. Saya Frazier to the line to shoot two.
It's funny, Coretti just was flinging the ball up on the other end, and it's able to go through. Frazier looked like tried to fire that one right at the rim.
Free throw by Frazier on the way, no good. Penn State now 1 of 3 from the line. Tanaya Page gets a rest. Jada Travasio Green checks in. 35-32, Ohio State, 2:20 to play. Second free throw is also no good. Nice tip out by Ortiz, but Uhas runs it down. Uhas looking for help, gets it to Grande. 2:10 to play in the second quarter, 35-32. Penn State down by 3. Grande gets around Frazier, kicks it out, stolen by Carter. Santoro's not going to catch Carter, and Carter lays it up and in. 35-34, under 2 minutes to play here in the second quarter.
Carter, the second lady line into double digits now with 10 on the game.
We'll be talking to Dr. Wayne Sebastianelli from Penn State Health Services. Here's a drive by Santoro to the basket. Carter went for the block and fouled Santoro, so Santoro will shoot two. Second foul on Carter. Fifth foul on Penn State with 1:39 to play. Santoro at the line, 60% free throw shooter. And, of course, it's good. Crooms and Waterman come back in. Coretti and Miller check out for Ohio State. Second free throw is way short, and a lane violation on Charisma Ortiz will give her a second shot.
Santoro's got a little bit of a funky form. There's a hitch before she goes up with it, and I think that's what Ortiz got fooled by.
Second free throw is good, so it cost Penn State a point there. 1:38 to play. Charisma Ortiz stops at the center court stripe. Now gets it to Carter. Carter far side to Travasio Green. Now to Frazier, near side Carter. Foul line extended. Sends Ortiz through, hands it to Frazier. Frazier goes around a couple of screens, far corner. Travasio Green, skip pass around, nice head fake by Ortiz, and a foul is going to be called on Grande, who was asking for the push-off. But Grande picks up her second personal foul, and now Queenland will quickly come back into the game, I would assume, for Grande. That's the fifth foul on Ohio State, so Charisma Ortiz to shoot two. First one on the way, that is no good.
Ooh.
Ortiz now 5 of 9 on the season.
1 for 5 start at the line for Penn State, not good.
Second free throw is good. 37-35, a 2-point game with 1:10 to play here in the first half. Crooms with the dribble into the hands of Santoro. Out to Waterman. Waterman to Crooms out near the center court circle. Dribbles with the right hand to the right side. Now to Santoro. Santoro to Uhas. Uhas puts it on the floor, drives on Ebo. Nice double team by Saya Frazier, and a tie-up is called as Santoro tied up Ebo, but the alternate possession will go to Penn State.
Penn State ball on the alternate possession.
They've done a great job, Penn State has, whether it's been Ortiz or Saya Frazier, coming over to help out on the double team when Uhas has looked to drive against Ebo. They boxed her in that time. Frazier actually hit the deck looking to draw the foul, did not, but consistently frustrating Dorky Uhas, who's been a great freshman as well for Ohio State.
Patty back into the game for Uhas. Here's Carter driving, drives inside, and another great block from behind by Crooms. Crooms down the floor, kicks it back outside to Waterman, right back to Crooms. Crooms now with shot clock and game clock just about at 20 seconds. Will dribble out near the center court corner with the sideline. Amari Carter with the defense. 10 seconds to play. Crooms sheds the screen. They go on the far side. Coretti's going to force one up. No good. Good job by Penn State defensively to thwart a last-second shot. And that's the way the first half comes to a close, with Penn State trailing the Buckeyes 37-35. 4 o'clock on Friday. The Penn State men's hockey game with Ohio State was a 7 o'clock tip, or 7 o'clock face-off. On Saturday, it is now 3 o'clock. They'll still be facing off at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. And both Penn State women's tennis matches, which are against Temple and Bucknell, have both been canceled. And we're underway. Uhas with the basketball, and Lauren Ebo's getting the start for Penn State instead of Alicia Smith here in the second half. Crooms, they try to go down low to Uhas, and a bad pass by Crooms. It turns the ball over on the first possession by the Buckeyes.
And they've been helping Ebo with Uhas, but it was all Ebo that time, and she was able to get Uhas a little off kilter.
37-35. Ortiz gets the ball to Sierra Frazier, I beg your pardon. Now to Page, down low. Ebo double teamed. Waterman blocks the ball out of bounds, coming over to help. And she has a few words for Jesse Dickerson. I think a lot of the players have been getting in the officials' ears lately.
Yeah, warding off has really been a subject of much discussion between players and officials.
Inbounds to Page. Page looking. Here's Ebo coming across. Page penetrates, drives inside. It doesn't get the shot to fall, but a foul will be called before the shot and Santoro will be called for the personal foul. That is her first, and the first against Ohio State here in this third quarter. Page to trigger the inbounds play. Frazier pops to the left side, has it there, now dribbles towards the top of the circle. Back to Amari Carter, far corner, pull-up jumper on the way. Off the mark, no good. Santoro there for the rebound. Down the floor quickly is Santoro. Frazier, with a little bit of a touch foul. And that'll be a foul on Frazier. That'll be her second personal foul.
Definitely a touch foul. I don't think that was even a bump foul.
She had her arms out, so she must have bumped her somehow. Now Grande with the basketball, covered by Page. Grande too high, too low. Goes around a screen, an illegal screen by Juhas. And Juhas picks up the personal foul. And that is her first personal foul.
Only had 2 fouls between these two teams, both Penn State in the first quarter. Since then, started to pick up a bit.
Wraparound pass, bad pass by Carter, stolen by Grande. The angle that Penn State's trying to get these passes into the low post is just not a good angle.
No.
Here's Grande with the right side, hands it off to Waterman. Waterman up over the top. Santoro, three-point shot, halfway down and out. It was actually a bank shot that wasn't intended to be a bank shot. Here's Page back the other way. They jump out on her quickly. Gets a screen from Ebo. Left crossover dribble. Page jumper, no good. Rebound by Juhas. Juhas to Grande. Both teams starting off slowly. Drive down the basket. Drive down the lane by Crooms is up and good. Nobody picked her up. And then nobody's looking as Charisma Ortiz made the pass to Tanaya Page, but she wasn't looking, so the ball went right by her and went out of bounds.
And Tanaya points at herself looking at Charisma, so say my fault.
But that doesn't stop Coquise Washington from taking her out of the game in favor of Jada Travasio Green. 4-point lead, 39-35, 8:13 to play in the third quarter. Crooms to the left side, left hash mark. Looking for, that's an illegal screen by Juhas as well, but they don't call it this time. And now a timeout is called by Coquise Washington as 4 unanswered points to start the third quarter for the Buckeyes gives them a 41-35 lead. 8:01 to play here in the third quarter. A timeout. Play responsibly. Jerry and Joe, 8:01 to play. 41-35, Penn State with the basketball. The Buckeyes with the lead.
We saw this at the start of the second quarter. Ohio State scored the first 5 points there. Then after a timeout, Penn State retook the advantage. First 4 points of this third quarter have gone Ohio State's way.
Tanaya Page on the right wing goes around Santoro. Now comes back the other way to Carter. Jada Green can't get the shot open. Page trying to find an opening, cannot find an opening. Great job by Santoro defensively. Now Page has it with Santoro on her. Shot clock at 5. Page drive, pull-up jumper on the way, will not fall. Juhas with the rebound. Oh, but Tanaya Frazier almost came up with a steal. Down the floor, Crooms again all the way to the basket. That's 3 uncontested layups by Crooms. Janai Crooms, 3 uncontested layups in this third quarter.
And she's already a good enough player as is. You can't give her a wide open lane. Otherwise, she's going to go 100% on that type of shot.
Alicia Smith getting set to check back in. Here comes Frazier. Bounce pass down low to Lauren Ebo on a pick and roll. A beauty. And Penn State gets their first bucket of the second half. 43-37, under 7 minutes to play in the third quarter. Grande with the dribble out near the center court circle. Juhas right back to Grande. Grande tries to penetrate, cannot. Far corner, Santoro left alone, no good. Rebound by Carter. Carter comes flying out of there with it, leaves it for Jada Green. 3-point shot up and good for Jada Green. Jada Travasio Green hitting a big bucket for Penn State. 2 for 2 from the field, both from three-point land. Santoro around a couple of picks into the lane. Out to Grande, and then Juhas. Her shot is no good, and Jada Green picks up the rebound. She's everywhere tonight. Back the other way, Tanaya Page. To Jada Green, midway between the rings, brings it to the near side. Hands it to Carter, lazy pass. Carter comes up with it though, and Carter takes the jumper. Back of the iron, no good. Rebound And then trying to drive was Green. The rebound by Ebo on the pass to Green. Green was unable to penetrate. Sia Frazier now midway between the rings. Hands it to Carter. Carter goes around a couple of screens into the lane area. Jada Green, another three. This one is short. Rebound by Santoro. Somebody pick up Crooms. Here is Santoro with the basketball. Looking to penetrate. Instead goes to Crooms. Crooms comes around a couple of screens and traveled with the basketball. Just got a little out of control that time. And Penn State gets the turnover their way. 43-40. Penn State down by 3. 5:28 to play. Santoro and Uhas out. Petty and Queenland in for the Buckeyes.
And Jerry, you noticed earlier Crooms likes to go to her right that time. They made her go left.
And she turned it over.
Yep.
So Smitty does indeed check in for Ebo, and driving to the basket strong. Sia Frazier again. He gets fouled and makes the bucket. Waterman is called for the personal foul. That is her second, the team's third. And Sia Frazier, who's 0 for 2 from the free throw line, at the line. It didn't take long for Crooms to come out, as Kevin McGuff was not happy with the defensive effort on that play. Frazier's free throw up and good. We are tied at 43, 5:18 to play in the third quarter.
8-0 run for the Lady Lions.
Patty, that's the last name, not the first name, with the basketball, hands it to Grande. Carmen Grande gets the ball into the hands of Patty. Patty almost lost it. Turnaround jumper, kind of out of desperation, misses it. Rebound by Page. Page down the floor to Ortiz. Travasio Green, three-pointer, no good. Frazier comes flying in from the outside but can't grab the rebound, and it goes out of bounds. It will be Ohio State's ball. When we come back.
50%, I said they couldn't keep it up. I was right. They're both at 47.2%.
Well, that's still not too bad. Patty, Queenland, Santoro, Waterman, and Grande on the floor for the Buckeyes. Penn State with Smith, Ortiz, Travasio Green, Frazier, and Page. Grande with the dribble. Far side, Santoro. Santoro tries to drive on Frazier. Not many people can do that. Here's Waterman with it. Might have got away with a walk. Waterman bounce pass in the corner to Santoro. Back down to Waterman. Waterman had to go off her hands and out of bounds. And Waterman thinks it went off of Page, but it wasn't even close.
What a job by Tanaya Page. Really defending in the low post that time, but frustrated Waterman's attempt to catch the pass.
Ortiz with the basketball, brings it up the floor. Penn State looking for their first lead in quite a while. Bounce pass, Frazier on a bad bounce pass, saves it, still trying to save it, finally does, and Page has an open three from the corner, and she is fouled. How many times this year has she been fouled on a three-point shot?
That's at least her fourth.
So Patty picks up her first personal foul, and 3 free throws coming for Tanaya Page. Page on the season, 80% from the line, and that was after a horrific start at the beginning of the year. We'll see how she does tonight. First of 3 on the way, no good. Penn State now 3 of 8 from the free throw line. Page with still 2 more to come. On the way, and good. 44-43, Penn State takes the lead. Crooms back into the game to replace Carmen Grande. Page third free throw on the way. Good again. 45-43, 4:05 to play. Oh, Crooms. They got away with a walk. You could hear the groan from the Penn State fans down below. Crooms dribbling against Frazier. Gets the ball to Waterman, now to Santoro. Santoro cut off by Ortiz. Gets around Ortiz. Forces a bad shot. Rebound pulled down by Frazier. Frazier down the floor. Page open in the corner. Doesn't get the shot off. Step back 2 on the way. Off the mark, no good. Fight for the rebound. Crooms comes up with it. Crooms down the floor. Drifts to the right side. Tried a cross-court pass to Queenland. Off the mark. Turnover Ohio State. Penn State gets the ball back.
You know, Crooms was really feeling it. She had a hop step as she dribbled toward the free throw line, but then I think she made a mistake trying to sling that ball with one hand. She had the power to do it, but didn't have the control.
Sia Frazier gets a rest, and Amari Carter comes back in the game for Penn State. Carter, Ortiz, Page, Travasio Green, and Smith on the floor for the Lady Lions. 3:28 to play, Penn State by 2. Page has it, now Travasio Green, midway between the rings, right at the top of the circle, and a foul is going to be called, a holding foul, and I believe it's on Queenland.
And she's giving Kevin Pethel an earful right now, even though he's not the official that made the call.
And that is 5 team fouls already on Ohio State, so Page back to the free throw line to shoot 2. Penn State has committed just 1 foul here in the third quarter.
Page on the line for Penn State. 2 shots.
Page 2 for 3 just a moment ago, puts up the first of 2. That spins out no good. Penn State 5 of 10 from the free throw line.
And free throw shooting has been a strength for them this year.
Second free throw by Page on the way and good. 3:22 to play, 46-43. Penn State by 3. Crooms bringing it up against the pressure from Amari Carter. A screen from Waterman coming up. Crooms sheds the screen one way then the other. Now picked up by Smitty. Smitty comes over to pick up Santoro. There's a step through by Grande. It's no good. Penn State running the floor well, and a foul's going to be called on Miller. I got to be honest with you, I didn't think Miller came close to touching her. Smitty, I thought, just lost her balance.
I think so. Smitty went up in the air to try to catch the pass and then turned around. And I think from the officials' angle, Al, it looked like
there had
Miller,
to be contact.
Yeah, Miller was the one that turned her around. They just showed the replay here, and
Kevin McGuff's showing the official exactly what happened. Free throw by Smith is up and good. 47-43, Penn State by 4. Queenland checks out. Grande back in. So it's Grande, Crooms, Waterman, Miller, and Santoro. Smitty's second free throw is good. Penn State by 5, 48-43.
She's back to being the reliable one at the free throw line.
Grande with the dribble. Gets around Page. And again, Ortiz, great help. They move the ball around well. Here comes Miller inside, pull-up jumper. Short, no good. Rebound goes into the corner to Page. Page tries to push it, trying to split the difference. And, oh, that's not the right call. Jesse Dickerson, that is not the right call. That is a loose ball, 2 people going for the ball, and they run into each other. That's a no call.
Yeah, Page going with Waterman after the ball and goes against Page and the Lady Lions. Ohio State, though, has missed their last 6 shots.
Back the other way come the Buckeyes. Grande with the dribble. Waterman has it just past the left elbow. Now Santoro picked up by Smith. To Crooms. Crooms down the lane and lays it up off the glass and good. Crooms is having a game.
Oh, 21 points.
And all of them right at the hoop, or
Yep.
many of them right at the hoop. 48-45, Penn State by 3, 2:08 to play. Here's Ortiz, far side to Page. Page back to Ortiz, top of the circle. Near side Carter, near corner Travasio Green. Amari Carter tries to penetrate, 3-2 zone, doing a job here for the Buckeyes. Travasio Green penetrates, has the shot blocked, and she is fouled by Miller. Miller may have gotten all ball, but I think the follow-through was a little overdone.
And they're actually going to call the foul on Waterman, which is her third.
Oh. So Jada Green at the line for Penn State. 1 of 2 on the evening. Now 2 of 3 as she makes that. 49-45. Penn State by 4. Second free throw good as well. Crooms with the basketball. She has almost half the points for Ohio State.
She's only missed 1 shot from the field and 1 from the free throw line.
Waterman drives on Smitty, kicks it out to Santoro, to Grande. Grande misses the 3. Travasio Green with the rebound. Sanaya Page back the other way. Top of the circle, Ortiz. Back to Page. Page covered by Grande. Now to Carter. Carter goes around Grande for the moment. Little fadeaway jumper on the way and good. That's that same shot she hit all first half, Joe.
Absolutely. Just off the elbow, left side, right side, swishes it either side.
52-45, Penn State by 7. And Kevin McNeil stands as always. They have a big game coming up on Sunday, or Saturday, I beg your pardon.
So the Legion of Blue here as well, the student section.
And a hand check is called on Jada Travasio Green. I'm getting a text from our friends Jody and Kareen telling me it's a no call. It's a no call. So they agree with me. Uhas back in the game has the ball. Now to Crooms, picked up by Travasio Green. Now to Grande. They're trying to post up inside with Uhas, who has Page on her, and a 3-second violation on Uhas. As she was so intent on posting up against Page, she never left the lane area.
Has Penn State ever done a job on Dorka Uhas, who entered the game 11.7 points a game? She can't go anywhere without Smith, Ebo, Ortiz, Frazier, anybody on her.
They want to go to Page, and Page has it. They're going to call a foul on Santoro. So Page is going to go to the line to shoot 2 more. So Penn State is working some things into the game and seeing some matchups that they want to take advantage of, and they found Santoro on the hip of Page and went right at her.
And Kevin McGuff has cycled through a lot of different defenses for Ohio State, trying to find something that'll work against Penn State, but Lady Lions just keep finding a way to get to the free throw line to get the best shot of all.
Page has 6 points on 1 of 10 shooting, but 4 of 6 from the line as she hits the front end. Second one on the way, good as well. Penn State with their biggest lead of the game, 9, 54-45, under a minute to play. Far side to Grande, now to Waterman. Waterman to Grooms, covered by Page, really picking up the defense with her. Here's Grooms driving, tries to go to Waterman. Waterman wasn't ready for it, and the ball goes out of bounds off of Waterman's hands. Ohio State playing very uncharacteristically sloppy. In talking to Matt and Tony, the radio folks for Ohio State, one of the things that they were so impressed with this team is their ability to fight back against adversity, but right now they're not showing it.
No, 7 turnovers here in the third quarter, 16 for the game, and a lot of it too. Ohio State doesn't have a road victory this year. They're 0-4 away from home.
Tania Page, top of the circle, picked up her dribble, needs some help. Travasio Green comes to help. Now back to Page. Page covered by Grande. Far side Ortiz. Shot clock or game clock at 6, and they get it around to Page. Page travels with the basketball. She need be better off to just let that ball fly.
Yep.
4.1 seconds to go. There's plenty of time to get a shot off for the Buckeyes. They want to go to Crooms. They do in the backcourt. Carter giving her some hassle. Now Crooms comes down the floor, lets it fly, hits the front end of the rim, and no good. Tiara Cruz, the official, goes down. Amari Carter goes by UPS, working together to achieve great things like the Nittany Lions and Lady Lions. That's problem solving. Visit ups.com to learn more. UPS, official logistic company of Penn State Athletics. Penn State with the basketball up by 9, 54-45. Amari Carter in a more of a 1-2-2 zone now instead of a. There's Jada Green wide open at the free throw line. Couldn't get the shot to fall, halfway down and spun out. 54-45, 9:39 to play. Far corner to Grande. Back outside to Crooms. Crooms tries to drive on Page. Cannot. Gets the ball out to Queenland. Queenland back to Crooms. Crooms with the right hand. Takes it down the lane. Misses the layup this time. Rebound by Carter. Carter off to Page. Page, could have stepped into the 3 there. They go right back to her. Again, wide open. Doesn't take it. Jada Green does. And too strong and off the mark. No good. Rebound by Crooms. Very unselfish play by Tania Page. She had 2 3-point shots available to her, and Alicia Smith is called for the personal foul as Patty was posting up on the low block far side. 9:04 to play, 54-45, Penn State by 9. A non-shooting foul as Jada Green will check out and Saya Frazier checks back in for Penn State.
Jerry, you talked about Tania Page's unselfishness. She leads the Lady Lions tonight with 4 assists, and she's got 7 points, even though she's just 1 of 10 from the field.
Uhas in the game, back to Crooms. Crooms to Queenland. Not a very good pass, but Queenland did a good job. Queenland trying to figure out a way to spin inside. Does so, and then goes down the lane, throws up a wild shot. Rebound by Carter. Ahead to Frazier. Frazier tried a bounce pass to Smith, which would have been a little late, and it's a good thing that somebody for Ohio State kicked it, and the ball goes over to stays with Penn State on the kick violation.
I think it was Grande. That would have been a nice job out on the soccer field.
Patty and Queenland out. Coretti and Waterman back in. Here is Page on the inbounds pass, covered by Coretti. Backs it out, takes the three-point shot, nails it! Tania Page with a big three-pointer, and Penn State's lead is 12, 57-45 with 8:29 to play.
It doesn't matter what's happened the first three quarters, and when it comes time for the fourth quarter, Tania Page comes to play.
And I hate to say it, but on that play before that, I would rather have Tania Page taking that shot than anybody else on the team for that matter. Pass to Uhas is a little off the mark. She loses her balance. Stolen by Page. Down low. Bad pass. I'm not sure. Oh, somehow coming up with the basketball is Alicia Smith, but has it blocked and stripped. Now Crooms has it going the other way for Ohio State. That was crazy action.
Very much so.
Trying to post up as Uhas. Now they come to Coretti. Coretti forces up a shot on the baseline. That's no good. I'm not sure Kevin McGuff wanted that shot. Tania Page steps into a three. Good again. 60-45, and Kevin McGuff calls a timeout, and Tania Page, as Joe said, fourth quarter is my time. And she buries the three-pointer, and Penn State has Miller, Uhas, Grande, and Waterman on the floor for Ohio State. Carter, Ortiz, Smith, Frazier, and Page for the Lady Lions. Page not letting them get the ball in. They finally get it into Crooms. Crooms will bring it up against the man-for-man defensive Carter. Penn State has not gone to a zone at all tonight. They have played man-for-man from the opening tip till now. Crooms wants the basketball, has it. Setting a couple of double screens. They go down low to Uhas. Uhas does a nice job with her body, creating contact with Smith, and draws the foul on Smitty. Third foul on Smitty. And that will put Uhas at the line to shoot two. Uhas, 69% free throw shooter, 1 of 2 so far tonight. Free throw by Uhas is almost didn't even draw iron. We're very short. 5 of 8 from the free throw line is Ohio State. Penn State 12 of 18. Second free throw also no good. And that's where you need the points at the free throw line. Here's Page on the left wing. Back to Ortiz, top of the circle, near side Frazier. Back to Ortiz, midway between the rings. Directing traffic, gets the ball to Page. Page, far side Carter. Carter looks to penetrate. Ortiz, back to Page. Page, another three-pointer. Another three-pointer that finds its way to the bottom of the net. 63-45, 18-point lead for Penn State. 6:52 to play in the game. Sia Frazier almost had a steal, but a good job by Grande to keep the body in between her and the ball and drawing the foul on Sia Frazier. Frazier picks up her third personal foul, and Jada Travasio Green will check in for Sia Frazier. Grande takes the inbounds pass. Team foul number 3 on Penn State. Ohio State has committed none at this time in the fourth quarter. Waterman gets it to Uhas. Uhas to Miller. Miller looks to penetrate. Backdoor cut. Crooms in the lane, kicks it out to Waterman. Waterman around to Grande. Three-point shot, Grande, no good. Long rebound out to Carter. Carter with Waterman on her hip, down the floor. Gets it back to Ortiz. No fear three on the way and no good. Not a bad shot, but it's one of those ones where you, maybe not. But I like the confidence she showed.
She's a freshman, but she's uncorked it 3 for 4 now from three-point range tonight.
Uhas to Grande, and Grande's fouled by Ortiz, and that'll be the 4th team foul on Penn State. And for the final 6:07 of the fourth quarter, Ohio State is going to go to the free throw line, barring a player possession foul. Penn State by 18, 63-45, 6:07 to play in the game.
Scored all 9 points in the fourth quarter.
Looking for the lob to Uhas, not there. Now Miller penetrates down the lane, puts it up and fouled. And I think Travasio Green, yep, Jada Green is called for the personal, her third personal foul. And again, that is the fifth, and that will put Adriana Miller, a 5'11 senior, at the line. She's a 40% free throw shooter. Her first trip to the line tonight. Of course. Coming into the game, Miller was 15 of 37. She makes the first and makes the second. 16-point lead, 63-47. 6 minutes to play in the basketball game. And again, this game is very important in the Big Ten standings because there's 8 teams with 2 or 3 losses. Smitty from the free throw line, air ball. Ball lands on the baseline. It'll be Ohio State basketball.
You can't say that Penn State's laying back trying to bleed the clock here. They're taking a shot if they think they can hit it.
Crooms will bring the ball down the floor. Picked up by Carter at the midcourt stripe. Now picked up by Jada Green. They swing it around to Miller. Here's a three-pointer by Grande. That is good. 63-50, 13-point lead for Penn State. And just like that, Coquise Washington calls a timeout with a 5-point run of their own for the Ohio State Buckeyes. And at the offensive end, Penn State just didn't look as comfortable as they've been.
Not really, no. And they've been able to take shots, but you know, we saw Alicia Smith's shot at the free throw line off target, and we've seen other possessions here coming from that 18-point lead where Penn State has not been able to get in the offensive sets they had liked to against Ohio State. Buckeyes starting to find the way as well. That was their first made shot in their last 7 attempts, and in fact throw in 2 more at the free throw line. It's collapsing on her because she's does so well going down the right side of the lane. She was able to kick it out, and they found the open player. So Penn State's got to be able to close that off. Still a
Head into the game. They were going to get her ball handling duties in there in place of Frazier. They get the ball into Carter, back to Frazier. Frazier into the front court for Penn State. Frazier weaves her way all the way down the floor, back outside to Page, just outside the left side of the top of the circle. Now Carter has it, midway between the rings, to the right foul line extended. Hands it to Page. Page, and a foul is going to be called, and Miller is going to be called for just being a little extra pushy, if you will. But that's only the first team foul against Ohio State, so it might not hurt them to get a couple of fouls in case they get to the point where they need to foul to put Penn State on the line.
Absolutely, and for Miller, she's trying to get around to Lauren Ebo's screen, and that's a tall order for anybody.
Ebo in the game in place of Smith. So it's Ebo, Travasio Green, Page, Carter, and Ortiz. Near corner to Carter. Carter back out to Ortiz, looking for a screen. Page looking in the far corner to Carter. Carter has it there. Back outside to Page. Shot clock at 14. Page to Ortiz. Ortiz down to Ebo. Has it knocked out of her hands and out of bounds with 8 on the shot clock. Waterman making the defensive play.
Ohio State doing a nice job of rotation in the 2-3 zone there.
And they go man for man on the inbounds play. Penn State having trouble. Ortiz drives and an offensive foul. Ortiz ran over Grande, and Penn State turns the ball over, and the Buckeyes have a chance to cut the lead to 11 with a deuce or to 10 with a 3.
Ortiz looked open beyond the arc for a moment, but that's also a fifth-year player on defense against a freshman on offense.
Grande with the dribble against Page. Hands it off to Crooms. Crooms sheds one screen, goes the other way. Here's Miller in the corner, and the ball's knocked away. And here's an open 3 from Waterman in the corner. That is good, and it's a 10-point game. 8 in a row for the Buckeyes. Carter down the floor. Timeouts, 1 each for each team. Here's Carter. High post to Ebo. Ebo tried to shuffle it down to Page, or to Travasio Green. Not a good pass at all, and turns it over. Penn State not taking care of the basketball.
Now it's turned around. That's their 3rd turnover of the quarter, 14th of the game. Ohio State has 17, but they've only turned the ball over once here in the 4th.
Grande with the dribble, looking to get it below 10. Grande, right side, out to Waterman, top of the circle. Waterman down low to Uhas, double team, puts up the shot and good. It's an 8-point game, 10 in a row for the Buckeyes. And again, only one timeout remaining for each team. Ortiz looking for a screen from Smith. Now gets it to Page. Page, far corner, Carter. Back out to Page in front of the Penn State bench. Gets a screen from Travasio Green. Ortiz down low to Smith. Smith to Carter. Carter, three-pointer from the corner. No. Long rebound is pulled down by Grande. Ohio State can cut it to 6 with a deuce. Crooms cuts inside, right down the lane, uncontested layup. 12 in a row for the Buckeyes. Coach Washington not calling a timeout. It's a 6-point lead. It was 18 not 3 minutes ago. Charisma Ortiz, high post to Carter. Carter, you got to figure Tania Page has got to take over sometime. Here she is in the corner. Three-pointer on the way, will not fall. Smitty battling for it, and it goes out of bounds off of Smith, and now the Buckeyes can get within 4.
You went to that veteran presence and that consistent fourth-quarter performer in Tania Page, and she already has 3 trays here in the fourth, so why not? That one just didn't fall.
Sia Frazier into the game to replace Travasio Green. Penn State's defense needs to rear its ugly head here.
Frazier's just the player to do it.
Grande with the basketball to Waterman, covered by Smith. They want to go to Uhas. Here is Grooms. Grooms takes it out of the corner to the top of the circle, forces up a 3. That's an air ball. Uhas gets the rebound, gets her own rebound, puts it up. No, puts it up and in. It's a 4-point game. 63-59, 14 straight points by the Buckeyes of Ohio State.
And that was a 4-shot possession for the Buckeyes.
And all because they had no one to really match up against the 6'5" Uhas. Bounce pass to Smith. Smith just turns around, and I tell you what, Grande just took the ball right out of her hands, and I'm not sure where the foul was, but Penn State was lucky that they called a foul there. It's a non-shooting foul with 2:15 to play, a 4-point game, the third team foul against Ohio State. Inbounds to Frazier. Frazier dribbling around, crossover dribble against Waterman, lays it up and in with a left hand. Big move by Sia Frazier to stop the 14-0 run. Grande with the dribble. Gets a screen from Crooms, now picked up by Page. Uhas, three-point shot from deep is good. 3-point game, 65-62, 1:49 to play in the basketball game.
And she can shoot it from out there.
Far side Page. Page puts it on the floor, bounce pass to Carter. Right side Ortiz. Ortiz back to Page. Page penetrates. Tries to find an opening, could not. Now, oh boy, that's a dangerous pass. Here's Carter, pull-up jumper, that's way short. Sia Frazier with the rebound, away from Crooms and up off the glass and good. Penn State by 5, 67-62, 1:19 to play in the basketball game.
Clutch offense from Sia Frazier.
Grande, far side Crooms. Crooms to Waterman. Waterman trying to get it to Grande, was being denied by Frazier. Here is Uhas, open again for 3. Nobody picks her up, and she buries it again. That's just a defensive breakdown right there.
Absolutely. I think there was a double. Frazier and Ortiz both doubled down. I think Ortiz is supposed to get over.
2-point game, under a minute to play. We are at 45 seconds. Penn State needs a bucket here. Carter with it. Page coming to the near corner. Carter dribbling around. Far side Ortiz. 10 on the shot clock. Ortiz gets a screen. Skip pass across the Page. Three-pointer on the way. Oh, halfway down and out. Fight for the rebound off of Miller and out of bounds. And Penn State has the ball with the shot clock off. 27.3 seconds to go. And I believe, they're going to review the play to see who it went off of. I could not tell from here.
I couldn't either. The official said it went off Miller, but she and
brings Jada Travasio Green into the game. I'm not sure why you take your best defender out of the game.
I have to agree. Sia Frazier headed out.
Wow. Waterman takes the ball, gets it into Grande. Grande brings it up the floor. 21 seconds. Grande brings the ball to the near side. Backdoor cut. Crooms all alone. Lays it up and in. Amari Carter got burnt. Timeout, Coquise, Washington. 14.7 seconds to go. 67 all. 14.7 seconds to go. Penn State has a chance for the last shot. And Penn State.
Now, does Ohio State, with 2 fouls to give before they put Penn State on the free throw line?
I do.
Yes. Do you foul and whittle that time off the clock?
Carter, Page, Smith, Travasio Green, and Ortiz on the floor. Tenaya Page has it. We'll see if they foul. 12 seconds. Penn State's going to go for the last shot. If I'm Grande, fouls her right there with 6.5 seconds to go. And they have another foul to give, so they can foul again on the inbound, pretty much as soon as the ball's inbounded.
Yep.
Little confusion for Penn State as to who's to inbound the basketball. They get it into Page, and she's fouled again. 5.9. I might have waited a little bit if I were Crooms, at least till she gets it into the front court. Then
exactly.
The foul. 5.9 is an eternity. Inbounds to Page. 4 seconds. Page down the floor. All the way to the rim. No foul called. Wanted to get the foul, and a overtime we go.
That's the end of regulation with the score.
Regulation, an 18-point lead with 7:01 to play in the fourth quarter is not enough for time. Smith, Page, Carter, Travasio Green, and Ortiz on the floor for Penn State. Uhas, Miller, Waterman, Crooms, and Grande on the floor for Ohio State. And Ohio State controls the tip, and they bring the ball up the floor. Looking for their first lead in a long, long time. Waterman has the basketball, covered by Smith. Waterman looking for help, finally gets it to Crooms. Crooms goes around a couple of screens, kicks it out to Uhas. Uhas now picked up. Now Grande. Grande looking to penetrate, does so, throws up a wild left-hander, rebound by Carter. Carter down the floor has Page on the far side. Tenaya Page. Head fakes a player by. Pull-up jumper from 10 is up and good. Penn State gets the first 2 points of the overtime, 69-67.
That's a good start. 18 for Tenaya Page to lead the way for the Lady Lions.
It started again, Joe, at the defensive end where they really forced Grande into a crazy shot. Waterman drives on Smith. Smith blocks the shot from behind and out of bounds. It'll stay in Ohio State's hands. 4:05 in the overtime. 69-67 Penn State. Santoro into the game to replace Miller for the Buckeyes.
This is the first overtime game of the year for Ohio State. Penn State 1-0 in overtime, the win over Princeton here in the Jordan Center earlier this year.
Inbounds pass to Uhas, right back to Grande. Grande to Waterman. Waterman to Santoro. Santoro back to Waterman. Near side to Crooms. Crooms goes down low. Carter steps in front of Uhas and comes up with a steal. Off to Smith. Smitty down the lane, gets clobbered hard by Crooms, who goes over to help her up off the deck in a good show of sportsmanship. But Smitty will be at the line to shoot a couple of free throws for the Penn State Lady Lions.
Now, Mari Carter has brought it on defense here the last couple possessions. That time working against the much taller Dorka Uhas. She's the latest in a long line of players who have forced Uhas to go outside where she has done damage.
Smith's free throw is short, no good. Smitty with 2 points, now 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Does not have a rebound in the game. Second free throw by Smith on the way and good. 3-point lead for the Lady Lions in overtime, 70-67. Grande with the dribble, covered by Page. Now to Waterman at the top of the circle. Wanting to go to Uhas. They wrap around pass, bad pass by Uhas and out of bounds, trying to find Santoro in the near corner, threw it away, and Penn State gets the turnover.
And Uhas has just not been able to deal with Penn State doubling her inside, and uncorks the bad pass after that latest double team.
3.5 to play in the overtime. Penn State by 3. Ortiz one way, then the other, in front of the Penn State bench. Now to Page. Page, pull-up jumper from 18 is short, no good. Fight for the rebound. Crooms comes away with it. Page did not look comfortable in that shot. Here's a drive to the basket, and Juhas comes up with it. Stripped by Ortiz on the put-up. And great defense by Charisma Ortiz to take that ball right out of Juhas's hands.
No fear for the freshman.
Carter with it, outside to Ortiz near the center court circle. 2:55 to play, Penn State by 3. Ortiz backs in on Grande, now to Page. Page looking for a screen from Smith. Smith slips the screen, bad pass by Page, is deflected, and here comes Crooms back the other way. Three-pointer by Santoro is off the mark, no good. It comes all the way to the near side and out of bounds, and Penn State has the basketball.
And again, Santoro also is one of the top three-point shooters for Ohio State. That is her shot. But, man, Penn State has forced the Buckeyes into some bad-looking shot attempts in this game.
Ortiz brings the ball down the floor. 1-2-2 zone defense being used by Ohio State. Ortiz right side, Travasio Green. To Page, left side of the top of the circle, now midway between the rings. Far side Ortiz. Ortiz skips the pass across to Page. Page into the lane. Step through, has it blocked. And we have a timeout called. Do we get the timeout or do we have the alternate possession? Alternate possession will belong to Penn State. After having the shot blocked, Page caught the ball on the ground and then was tied up. Shot clock at 5, 2:08 on the game clock. They try to get it into Ortiz. The ball's loose. Travasio Green finally comes up with it, heaves it up, doesn't catch iron, so that's a shot clock violation. Penn State did not look good on that inbounds play at all.
Just barely beat the 5 count on the inbounds pass.
Sia Frazier into the game for Penn State to replace Travasio Green. Defense for offense, although Frazier's been pretty good offensively for Penn State with 11 points. Grande with the basketball. Frazier reaching. You don't want to get called for a bad foul here. Driving is Santoro. Puts up a crazy shot. Waterman with the rebound and came down on the baseline. Good verticality by Alicia Smith that time to not come over the top with the hands to create the foul. Frazier out, Travasio Green in. Offense for defense.
Ohio State hasn't scored a point in this overtime period.
Penn State has only scored 3. But that's 3 points to give them the lead. Carter, far corner to Page. Back out to Carter. Carter gets a screen from Smith to Ortiz. Backdoor cut for Smith. Ball is loose and stolen by Waterman. Bad pass by Ortiz. 1:24 to play. Grande tried to drive on Carter, unable to do so. Here's Grande driving, kicks it out to Santoro. That three-pointer is up and good. It tied at 70 seconds to play. They do the same thing. They penetrate. They kick to the three-point line on the far side, and they've done that about 5 or 6 times. 1 minute in the overtime. Ortiz to Travasio Green. Here's Ortiz, three-pointer on the way, too strong, no good. Fight for the rebound, and it's off of Carter. And with 47.8 seconds to go, Ohio State has the basketball. And Sia Frazier comes back in for defense. And a timeout, a 30-second timeout, is going to be called by Kevin McGuff to set up the play that he wants.
Yep. Yeah, they don't have to announce their decisions here in college basketball as to whether it's confirmed or stands. But it's Ohio State ball, bottom line.
Frazier providing the defense on Grande in the backcourt. Brings the ball up the floor into the front court. Grande behind the back dribble. Looking for the penetration, and there's Crooms again. Oh, my goodness. Throws it up with a left hand. Throws it up with a left hand, falling to the ground, and it went right through the bucket.
I forget if it was Crooms or somebody else had a shot exactly like that in the first quarter.
It was her.
It was her.
And they're looking at something else again. What are they looking at now?
Unless they think she stepped on the baseline, I don't know.
She wasn't even close to the baseline.
All right, unless it's an elbow, I'm not sure.
The only thing I can think of is if it's a timing issue or something along those lines. But Crooms drove the baseline, Again, Carter and Ortiz come down the floor to bring the ball up the floor. They have to go the length of the floor. 38 seconds to play. Carter brings the ball up the floor. Across the timeline, man for man now for Ohio State. Great job by Kevin McGuff to change defenses. Here is Page. Gets a screen from Smith. Oh, had the shot. Doesn't take it. Travasio Green picks up her dribble. Hands it to Page. 18 and 10 are the clocks. Page penetrates on Waterman. Has it blocked from behind and out of bounds. And a foul is going to be called by Jesse Dickerson way out here. And Waterman can't believe it. And if I'm Ohio State, I'm saying, how do you make that call 35 feet away from the bucket, from the play?
Page is driving down the left side, and on the right side, on the sideline, nearer half court.
13.4 seconds to go. First of two for Page. No good. And Page just looks over to the bench with a grin on her face like, I can't believe it. And now you figure out who to foul on this Ohio State team. Second free throw by Page is good. And timeout, Kevin McGuff. Well, if you keep the same players on the floor that are out there now, the person you want to foul is found the ball, so you can't foul her. Waterman is a 70% free throw shooter. Grande 89, Santoro 60. They go back door, and the ball's knocked down and fouled, and a bucket is good by Uhas, who just went up over Amari Carter, and Carter had to foul her. And the bucket is good. It's a 3-point lead with 12 seconds to go.
Carter read the pass, read it perfectly, but Uhas
just too tall.
Just too tall, you're right.
So Uhas at the line. Penn State does have a free timeout left. Uhas free throw on the way and good. It's a 4-point lead, and Coach Washington calls a timeout. 75-71 Ohio State. And the Penn State Lady Lions need a bit of a miracle, although I think it can be done, without a doubt. The question is, do you go for the three, or do you just get a quick two if you can? 30-second timeout.
Of course, Tania Page, we've seen her with, I think, 3 4-point plays this year as well. That's not out of the realm of possibility.
Well, if I'm Kevin McGuff, I'm saying you don't come anywhere near anybody shooting a three.
Exactly.
I mean, you can make it look like you're playing defense, but if you come near them, Jada Green pops. They get the ball to Tania Page. Long, deep three-pointer is no good. Uhas with the rebound, and she is fouled by Ortiz. And this is a very, very difficult loss if Penn State does not come back. This is a really damaging loss for Penn State, not only in the Big Ten standings, but you have an 18-point lead, and you allow that to dissipate and go to overtime, and you see the game get away from you.
In the fourth quarter, an 18-point lead, and would be disheartening, that's for sure. But
Uhas at the line. First of two on the way. Good again. And this would have been a great game for Penn State to win, to just get their momentum going, especially traveling to Maryland on Saturday. Free throw, second one is missed. 5 seconds left. Carter takes a deep three-pointer. That's off the mark. And Uhas gets the rebound. And Ohio